The latest news on NSA leaker Edward Snowden is that he's holed up in an airport in Moscow with the United States eager to bring him home to face charges of stealing and sharing classified information about NSA's surveillance programs. Snowden's flight has strained U.S. relationships with China and Russia, which both have so far refused to send him back. Even though President Obama said he's not about to scramble jets to go after, quote, a 29-year-old hacker, he is determined to get Snowden back.
My continued expectation is that Russia or other countries that have talked about potentially providing Mr. Snowden asylum recognize that they are part of an international community and that they should be abiding by international law. And we'll continue to press them as hard as we can to make sure that they do so.
And good luck with that. We can't even get Putin to give back a Super Bowl ring. And the tensions aren't just with world powers like Russia and China. The Obama administration is also having issues with Ecuador. Yes, Ecuador, population 15.5 million. Ecuador is openly and pretty gleefully tweaking the United States. Snowden may seek asylum from Ecuador, which is also protecting WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange at its embassy in London. Members of Congress who lead international trade committees have warned Ecuador that if it takes Snowden in, it can say goodbye to its preferential trade deal with the states. In defiance, Ecuador's government said it didn't need no trade deal and even offered the U.S. $23 million a year, the value of the trade deal, to fund human rights training for the American government. Hey, no one can say Ecuador ain't plucky. Now, Snowden and his defenders say he is a whistleblower, a hero who has done something brave in the public interest.
If you realize that that's the world that you helped create, and it's going to get worse with the next generation and the next generation who extend the capabilities of this sort of architecture of oppression, you realize that you might be willing to accept any risk. And it doesn't matter what the outcome is, so long as the public gets to make their own decisions about how that's applied.
Okay, let me just say how I feel about this. I understand the value of whistleblowing. Knowledge of how our government conducts its business and the state of our civil liberties is crucial. Here's my beef with Ed Snowden. Once you've decided to be a defender of those ideals, you have to be prepared to face the consequences. That is the whole point of civil disobedience, to show that you are willing to risk your own freedom, your own body, in order to bring attention to something that needs to be known. Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested, attacked, smeared. Nelson Mandela went to prison for 27 years. Protesters right now today in North Carolina State House are being arrested every Monday. This week, a state senator in Texas fought against devastating restrictions on abortion rights by filibustering for 11 hours without food, bathroom breaks, or sitting or leaning for even a moment. Ed Snowden, on the other hand, has gone on the run to countries with truly totalitarian regimes. China has imprisoned dozens of journalists on charges of revealing state secrets. Russia has a brutal record of discrediting, harassing, and beating journalists and anti-government activists, as well as stealing Super Bowl rings. Ecuador's president has intimidated critics by pressing criminal libel charges against him. Snowden is giving any country he hides in more leverage in their dealings with the U.S. When it comes to Russia, those dealings include trying to find a way out of the civil war in Syria. Look, Snowden reportedly has more information with him. U.S. state secrets that he says are even more significant than what he's already released, that Russia and China authorities would be more than happy to get their hands on if they haven't already. And if he wasn't intending to spy on the U.S. for foreign governments, well, he's as good as doing it now. Now, I can see the merit in our knowledge of the NSA programs, but Edward Snowden is risking a lot to save his own skin. That's not something I